Many religious people hold their holy texts in high regard as presenting them with moral standards because that's what they've been taught. But there's a problem with this. As many people have pointed out, there are too many stories in biblical texts that can be considered moral by today's standards to simply be ignored. And as I have pointed out, there are no rules in biblical texts that make a separation between moral and immoral acts in various religious texts themselves. As long as you truly believe that's what your God wants you to do, then it meets biblical standards for morality. So, acting on biblical morality means that doing something moral could be, but not limited to, advocating peace and love between all people because that's what it's really all about. As long as they believe in the same invisible man that I do. Not allowing your children to be educated by today's standards because of your beliefs.
I don't want my children learning no sciencey evolutionary stuff.
Advocating your religiosity as a moral trump card. I have done wrong, but now that I've found it's all okay. Distorting facts to suit your religious agenda.
Look, everyone, I can prove Noah's flood caused all the fossils because radioactive dating techniques are flawed.
Killing a doctor who performs abortions.
I killed the killer, and that makes it okay.
Dropping a wall on someone for performing a homosexual act in private.
Their homosexuality was offensive to my religion, so they had to die.
Stoning a woman to death for wanting to marry a man that isn't of the same faith.
Their children would have been abominations. What would they have called themselves?
Or advocating biblical morality on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. I went there.
If someone claims to derive his or her morals from the Bible, they are, whether they want to admit it or not, a moral relativist. While moral relativism is true, it is useless in its application. If morals are truly relative, claiming something to be moral or immoral is a useless gesture, since all that has to be said or done in any case where morality is challenged is, hey, it's moral to me, and that ends the conversation. I'd just like to head off any criticism about the Bible or any other Abrahamic text putting forward objective moral standards, since it would instantly squash my argument that biblical morality is moral relativism. Different religions exist which interpret biblical or any other holy text differently based on the context and circumstances in which they are read or translated. Religion itself does not exist outside of interpretation of a holy text, and since this is true and there is no way to distinguish which interpretation is right and which one is wrong, based on the holy text itself, every interpretation is relative to the views of the person interpreting the text, thus making the morals derived from the holy text relativist by nature. And for this reason, all the morals that you can derive from the Bible are relative to your translation of the Bible or your view of the holy text. So, again, biblical morality is moral relativism. Just put it out there.